Gothenburg. Archie, I take it that the real United won't be letting anything of that nature go past them this evening. They're too professional.
Well, thank you very much, John. Thank you very much indeed. I must say, I'm glad you didn't show the misses. The goal was bad enough. If you'd seen the misses, it really was awful. I can say, even though that wasn't the Maradona class, they did really thump us, and it's part of this very deliberate system, I think, Jim McLean is employing, of trying a very laid-back attitude towards a big occasion. Because I remember being with the team in the semi-final of the European Cup in Rome, and they were very tense and uptight and very close. Now, over the past two games, that is against Barcelona and in Germany, they've become a very open camp. And they're absolutely delighted to welcome anybody in, and I must say it's a very enjoyable trip, so they have the right attitude, and that is a very formidable team they're playing tonight, John. A team that hasn't lost a European game in the UEFA Cup for 23 matches and scored in every leg. It's a very impressive performance indeed, starting with an outstanding goalkeeper in Thomas Wernersen, Mats Carlsen, Heisen, who I think is considered by many people the outstanding player of the side. Then there's Larsson, Fredriksson, Stig Fredriksson, who is the national captain, Magnus Johansson, Tommy Holmgren, the two brothers, Tommy and Tord. Tord is the older. And the Dundee United side, well, I think a lot of eyebrows were raised at the inclusion of Billy Kirkwood. Let me repeat that Ian Ferguson is suspended and cannot play in this game. And there's a lot of conjecture as to what kind of role Billy Kirkwood would play. Now, I can recall him playing up front both in Europe and domestically, and I think he had an outstanding game up front against Aberdeen some years ago in the League Cup, when he actually scored a couple of goals. It was a real pest to a very, very solid Aberdeen defence. So that, in fact, may be the role that he'll fill tonight. Other than that, David Bowman has come in with a flourish at the end of this European run and showed against the Germans that he is a very substantial player. And Paul Sturrock, of course, well, Paul knows what it's like to play away from home. When he's on his own, he takes a lot of rough treatment from defences. He's a brave as well as a skillful player. And there you see part of a contingent of about 2,000 Dundee United supporters in a stadium that's the subject of a great deal of controversy. Here the two teams come out. The referee, Siegfried Kirchen from East Germany. I was saying about this stadium that it's the subject of a great controversy. They've spent £2 million in pumping concrete below the pitch and in the terraces at either side of the ground, because it was observed at a pop concert to shake and vibrate rather dangerously. Well, the locals say it hasn't worked all that much. That's a comforting thought to the commentators, all 30 of us from all parts of Europe, on this almost precipitous commentary position. The pitch, unfortunately, is very poor indeed. I would think, and I don't want to offend my guest, I'll be introducing him in just a second, I don't want to offend my guest, but I really honestly have to say it is not a pitch worthy of a European Cup final. I know it's a two-legged affair, but really, I think it's a sort of pitch that United really dislike playing on. It's very bare. That, by the way, is the coach, Gunnar Bengtsson of Gothenburg, very successful manager. It isn't the sort of pitch, as I was saying, that Dundee United favour. They like the heavy going to this. It's bare in patches. It looks all right from there, I must confess, but we've been on it for a couple of days. It's very, very bare in significant areas, right down the middle of the field, and it's also very fast and fiery. And Jim McLean will be very fast and fiery out of that dugout tonight. There's little doubt about that. Now, I am absolutely delighted to introduce a man whom I much admired playing both for Glasgow Rangers and Dundee United, one of the most outstanding wingers ever to have been seen in European football, Örjan Persson. And I'm sure many Dundee United followers will remember that name, and indeed the Rangers supporters as well. Örjan, thank you very much for joining us. I take it that as a Swede and coming from this city, you would make Gothenburg strong favourites to win.
No, not really. I think United stands a great chance here. Maybe not tonight, but in the home game.
But in this game tonight, would you favour Gothenburg?
They should be winning at home, but it won't be many goals tonight, I think. Maybe one or...
And you fancy an all-out attack by Gothenburg, or will they be cagey and try to beat United on the break?
No, they will try an all-out attack, definitely.
Well, we're about to see a very young person is right as Dundee United start off in the first ever European Cup final. And at the back, one of the most experienced players of all, David Neary. The very strong wind blowing, as you can see it, from left to right. And indeed holding that back. As Carlson and Magnus Johansson were watching Eamon Bannon very closely. That is Carlson. This goalkeeper was once sent off by Brian McGinley after the final whistle for complaining to him. He'd already been booked in a European game against Panathinaikos. Chasing after that Ian Redford, who had that magnificent game against the Germans. Whipped away by Larsson, and that is back by Neary. And certainly there's no more experienced British team at the moment than Dundee United in European football. This is United's 77th match in Europe, and only Liverpool, Rangers, Celtic, Leeds and Manchester United have bettered that. I suppose one could say they are, financially speaking, bigger clubs. Dundee United defence looking right into the sun. That could certainly be distracting in the earlier parts of the match. Neary. Johansson. McInally. One of the most successful players this season, McInally. Eamon Bannon way down the side. And Billy Kickwick, I can see, has been in the middle of the field. There's Paul Sturrock. Neat little turn, there's Bannon. Well, that's a very good ball indeed. Well, excellent play by Dundee United early on, taking the initiative. I think Mr. McLean has made it perfectly clear that he would consider one of the most important aspects of this game tonight is scoring a goal here. I think even if they were beaten by the one goal and scored themselves, he would settle for that. Well, already Johansson's been getting a lot of the ball on the right. John Holt. There's always a lot of gum chewing on a night like this. Absolutely beautiful evening for football. Neary watching him very closely indeed. That's Peterson. I think referee blew for that. Yes, that's a free kick. But the last time I saw Gothenburg, they were extremely good at these set positions. And there was no touch. It goes right through. Well, talking to the Swedish supporters about Billy Thompson, they obviously see a lot of clips of football one way or the other, and he's rated very highly, and why not? Holt. Oh, beautifully turned around there by Holmgren, and there's no offside, and that's a brilliant save by Thompson from Lennart Nilsson, and that really should have been put away, and he followed on very dangerously. There's Nilsson. Now this is good goalkeeping. Very dangerous position early in the game. That was a brave save, Urjan, and you were pointing out before that you thought Lennart Nilsson would be one of the most dangerous players.
Well, I think he proved that now. He's fast and he runs in the right moment, you know. But it's a great save from the keeper.
Dundee United don't look nervous, do they? They look quite settled.
Yes, so far they have kept the ball almost more than the Gothenburg team.
Which is always a good sign early in the game.
Yes.
And Billy Thompson isn't at all happy about that. Of course, it would be very serious to have an injury to a goalkeeper, even had he to play on. He's a not surprisingly concerned Jim McLean. A courageous save by Thompson. Man of 27 shutouts this season. And, well, in my book anyway, really ought to be part of the Scottish squad, certainly in the reckoning now. He is really suffering. This would be a bad blow to lose a goalkeeper.
Of course it will, yeah.
May well be a serious neck injury. Now let's see if we can have a closer look at where he took it. It was more in the follow-up. Yes, I think just off picture. A little late to see the initial collision, but he may be concussed apart from anything else. Certainly very badly shaken. That's the classic test, counting the number of fingers. Well, if you can see that finger now, you'll see a corner kick. You've got to be brave to be a goalkeeper.
Oh, definitely, yeah. A wee bit tough, too.
And glad to say that the goalkeeper, Billy Thompson, has at least partially recovered. I think they'll want to keep the ball away from that goalmouth at the moment. Give Thompson a bigger recovery time. It's Redford who's playing up front along with Sturrock. Bowman is away wide on the right. Billy Kickwood's in the middle of the field, along with McInally. Looked to be a push on Peterson, but he plays it wide. Some latitude there for Holmgren on the left. That's number 8, Michael Anderson. I wonder if St Mirren supporters remember him scoring a dramatic late goal for Hammarby at Love Street. Superb player, and there is Thompson, and he looks okay. I think meant for Bowman away in the far side. Hasn't really seen much of the play yet. Well, Thompson saw that clearly, and it looks to me as if he's now almost fully recovered from that knock. Redford. This side are beginning to tick over in midfield. But that won't bother that goalkeeper, a shot like that. Stefan Peterson. Gothenburg picking it up well in midfield and taken well by Morris Malpas. Great relief that he was able to play tonight. That very bad ankle injury had 12 stitches put in it. He'd play. Sturrock on the run, but that will never reach him. Peter Larsen at the back, man of the blonde mane. Salesman by trade. They are all part-time players. A great achievement for a part-time team to get to a European final. Bannon. Well, Eamon Bannon usually plays, that's Jim McInally, of course, but Bannon plays very well in Europe when he's lying deep. I mean, he really does a lot of excellent defensive work. Nielsen with it. Looked as though they were getting free. Larson comes up, he's looking for the 1-2, and he just misses out on that. And there's Bowman. And every Dundee United player was back in the penalty area, save Redford and Sturrock for that move. And as I said at the start, that man will be bobbing up and down constantly throughout the 90 minutes. This is a race on, and McInally does very well in the break. McInally, now Sturrock. He has a bit of space and freedom. He has Bannon on the left. There he is. But that's a very good ball indeed, and I think the flag is up. And yes, it was Bannon who just stepped offside. But I suppose you would expect Urian, Dundee United to try to counter-attack that way.
Yes, this will probably be the game, the character of the game. Gothenburg is keeping up the pressure, and United is coming on. Spare attacks.
That's fullback Mats-Ola Carlson. Bannon. There's John Holt. That very characteristic turn of Paul Sturrock down the line. Nobody does it better. He's just far too close to the line for that, though. Redford is onside, but that's a goal kick. Well, they certainly have had more of the play, Gothenburg, but there hasn't been intense pressure.
No, it hasn't, no. But they will be trying and trying, I think. So
you suspect they will grow stronger?
Well, at least they will try to do that, but they are keeping the game well up, I think, so far, United.
Hegarty. Slightest touch there by Carlson, one of the Olympic squad. There's Sturrock. Here's McInally there, outnumbered this time. And United typically fighting for every ball. That is a very good sign indeed. I certainly don't want to give the impression that they're overconfident, but and why should anybody contest the fact they really are feeling very confident about tonight and the final over two legs. McInally. Hegarty in for the second time. You'll watch John Holt coming forward occasionally like that. That's Holt. He gets the free kick out of it. I thought a little bit harsh, that award. But here's Bannon. No, Sturrock won't get that. I must say, I've been impressed in the past by the physical strength of Gothenburg again.
Yes, they are a physical side, and of course they have only been concentrating on these cups, so they've been preparing very well for it.
Unlike Dundee United, who have so many other important games to play, not least the Scottish Cup final, a week on Saturday, and here is Neri. Still touching it round with Redford up front now. I think it's gone over. Yes, it has. Throw to Gothenburg. Massive crowd in here. Touching 50,000. As I said about the engineering report at the start, I hope they don't jump about too much. That's Holt behind it. What you're getting now about this United team in all categories is the enormous experience they have in Europe. That's one of them, John Holt, who leaves the club in a few weeks' time. Bannon. Very quickly taken. Looked to me an illegal throw in that, but the referee didn't indicate it. That was Hyson coming forward. Holmgren. No, didn't have the strength. Picked up by Anderson. Couldn't get it over. Good covering again there by Bowman. That's Holt, McInally, all coming back. And every single United player back in defence this time. They don't even have Redford up. There's nobody at the halfway line. There's Paul Sturrock, who's away back in the right-back position. Very basic tactic of crowding the penalty area. Neri. Still nothing each. Free kick. In goes Sturrock. So McInally to take this. Bannon goes in. There's Hegarty up there. Slight misjudgment, I think, by Hegarty more than anything else. Big man behind him, beside him, Larson. Well, they're picking up the ball in the middle of the field, United, trying to nullify anything that Gothenburg throw at them and go on a counter-attack like this. There's Redford. Back to Malpas. Must have been a slight doubt about Malpas's fitness. Jim McLean said he won't be fully match fit, but might just do the job for us. I don't think it's a monumental risk they're taking with them. Mr. Gordon Wallace in action. Period of the game where United have settled in rather well, but must not be lulled into a sense of false security, which is so typical of the way that these teams can play. They create a situation, drag out the defence, then strike quickly. That was Michael Anderson. Trying to get that opening. Thompson half committed himself, and that will be a goal kick. Well, your overall impression so far of Dundee United, Jan?
Well, they are defending themselves quite well, and the Gothenburg team hasn't had that many chances yet. They had one really good one, but otherwise they have been quite safe, I think.
Any particular players impressed you so far?
Well, the goalkeeper seems confident and good, and both number 4 and number 5 are good players, I think.
McInally, Hegarty, and of course David Neri beside them again.
Oh, yes.
And that is Peterson. Holmgren. Nice little touch inside to Nielsen, but he doesn't have much space. They're closing down very quickly, United. A good defence. Really, Bannon goes in and thumps in, and Sturrock courageous little jink. Well, that's a beautiful ball, and Redford wasn't far away. 20 minutes gone. And still no scoring, but that was very close indeed. Beautiful move. Nice little touch inside, and Gothenburg, nevertheless, are finding it difficult to get beyond that stage and get players into the penalty area. Sturrock trying to go after this. Free kick to United. And Sturrock, I think, will take this himself. Neri stays at the back. Hegarty goes forward. Bannon's there as well. And that was touched out rather nervously, I thought. Nobody picking it up for United on the edge of the box. That's a free kick to Gothenburg. I didn't really expect a spectacular game tonight again.
No, I think it's two teams that are playing almost the same, similar type of game, so it won't be that spectacular. But still, it will be a hard fight, I think.
Game has been slightly dour by comparison with one or two of the other performances away from home, but nevertheless, it's effective. Holmgren. And Malpas does very well. Good positioning by Malpas. Redford. McAnally. Oh, he's a touch short with that, and he wants to go through with it. Larsson. We're halfway through this first half, and that is a very satisfactory scoreline for United at the moment. Nothing each. I mentioned the physical nature of Gothenburg. I mean that in the very best sense. They're extremely athletic, very fast and fit. Because they dig in very hard when necessary. United crowding midfield. There's a little bit of an opening, and Malpas in position again. Now Bowman. Redford all in his own. Billy Kirkwood comes up, and he wasn't given much time. I think there may have been a deflection, and they closed down on him just a bit too quickly. But another excellent move. Quality United not very well taken by Sturrock there. Sorry we're not just getting as many replays as we personally would like out here. They may yet come. Picked up there by Tommy Holmgren. So the way they like to attack at pace. And Bowman, I think Bowman's presence put Stephen Peterson off there, just breathing down his neck. Hard work coming to no avail, and I think that was given to United. Yes, it's a throw to United. Ian Redford doing a lot of valuable holding and touching it to the side, getting other players into the game, and there's Sturrock fighting hard for it, and I think a little too hard. It's a free kick. And United must always beware of the fact that this team can be very deadly in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. Very proved in European football that they can kill teams off quickly, as they've done to Hamburg and to Barcelona. No 1-2 coming there, and John Holt is behind it. There's Bowman. Almost judged it well, was meaning to bring Sturrock into it. Nearly right behind it. Lennart Nielsen is a man of great pace, signed for 100,000 from Elfsborg. I suppose the direct replacement for Ekstrom.
Yes, he was. And, he has turned out to be quite a success too.
Redford. Oh, breakthrough by Billy Kirkwood again, and once more. He wasn't given time to settle down, and he's breaking well from midfield. Well, that was a very sore collision again, but I must say, Kirkwood, through the years, has been one of the unsung heroes of this side. He can play in virtually every position. I'm sure Hamish McAlpin, who's in the studio, and we'll be talking about this at half-time, will pay tribute to one of the most loyal servants for Dundee United. Here he is, picking it up here. They closed down on him very quickly. But intelligent play by United.
Yes, I think they are playing intelligent. They must be pleased with the results here.
And already 2 players have been seriously in the wars. Nice friendly gesture that, which is nice to see in football. And United, unless the wind drops, will have the distinct advantage in the second half. Still nothing each. 28 minutes gone. That was a push. Yes, free kick. And back will come every tangerine jersey. That's the figure of Lennart Nielsen, the man being highly praised by Jurgen Persson, the ex-Rangers and Dundee United player, who's beside me in the commentary position. The Holmgrens are there as well as Peterson and Peter Larsson at the back. Larsson. That's a touch, and it's a goal kick. Are Gothenburg particularly strong in set positions like that?
Yes, they are, and you can notice that Glenn Hussein is coming up in every set position. He was up this time too, and almost headed the ball down.
It's nothing, I don't suppose, Jurgen, that will surprise United, though.
No. I think they know about that.
Well, Larsson broke out of that group. His strength doing it, and that's a very careless pass. I think United have closed down on this team very successfully, at least so far. There, Sturrock almost got the break. Picked up, though, by Mats-Ola Karlsson. Sturrock. Nutmeg that time. That was good control. And too hard and fast, and it's a goal kick. How would you rate this Gothenburg performance to some of the others in Europe you've seen here so far?
I don't think they've been playing that good, but I think we can blame quite a lot on the pitch tonight, because it isn't good, you know, and a lot of passes is going wrong because of the pitch.
Yes, well, we did point that out at the start. It's not fitting for a cup final, is it?
No, it isn't really. It's a pity when you have two great teams. They should have a good pitch to play on.
Well, I thought John Holt deserved a free kick out of that. It didn't come. Mighty figure of Larsson at the back. Remember this team playing like this, very much like this at Pataudry once, and suddenly hitting Aberdeen with great pace and great finishing. Johnny Ekstrom, of course, was playing for the side at that time. There's the score line. We've gone 30 minutes exactly. And that will do Dundee United players, officials and supporters at this stage. And we're beginning to hear the Dundee United supporters away at the back. It's not the most exciting game they've ever seen, but I think they appreciate that Dundee United is as thorough, experienced journeymen and craftsmen in the game of European football are here to do a job, and that is to defend well and perhaps sneak a goal. There's Holt. Certainly looking very strong in midfield at times, Gothenburg, but they're not picking up the players on the edge of the box as they should. A little bit of pushing and shoving there on the far side. Larsson getting a lot of freedom to pick up the ball in that area. Holt has to get that, and he did. He was really stretched though. Just for a second, it looked as if Gothenburg had found a little gap. Bannon held back on it slightly. And a lot of players in midfield are doing some heavy work for United. That should be a goal kick, and is. You said to me at the start, just before kickoff, Jan, that this was the strongest possible side they could play, but would there be a suggestion of a substitution later on?
Maybe they will bring in centre forward Rantanen in the second half.
Yes, he's a Finnish player.
He's a Finnish, he's a strong player, but he's not all that fast, but he's strong and he can use the ball well.
And of course, we wouldn't be at all surprised if United made their substitutions. They have Gallagher, Clark, Bowman, Gordon McLeod, all perfectly capable of coming on and performing well. There's McAnally. Sturrock on his own. McAnally again. Marvellous worker. He does overtime out there on the pitch. Bowman taking a lot of the work off the midfield by picking up and making runs like that. Oh, he backed into Neri. No whistle. Throw to Gothenburg. About 12 minutes to half time. Man with the ball is Magnus Johansson. Nice little touch round the side. That's Michael Anderson. Powerful figure there of Tord Holmgren. He did very well to get out of that. And it went to begging. Doesn't fall well for Gothenburg, and look at the mass ranks in there again. There's no offside, and Neri hooks it away. Now for the first time they're under a bit of pressure. Sustained, and they break it up. And that should go all the way through. If Neri lets it, he won't. He's taking no chances. And there's McAnally. He did a lot of useful work there, McAnally. Just slightly careless the way it was put across. And that's the first time, in fact, that we've seen Tord Holmgren, the Billy Bremner of Swedish football, as he's described, on this side of the field. Yes, well, the supporters producing a little derision there at that pass, and that can not be a good sign for a home side. Mark Hugh, you must always strike a cautious note about a European game like this, because after all, I sat and watched Dundee United have a really very poor first half in the first leg against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and on that performance you would have written them off altogether. Now here they are in the final, so we mustn't anticipate too much about Gothenburg. They may come strong yet. Bowman. Pulled down there by Peterson. Did he make it? He didn't, and I think, in fact, off the corner flag. And it's a goal kick. Well, I'm sure if you were still wearing the tangerine jersey, Young, you'd be very satisfied with the way things have gone so far.
Yes, it must be going just the way United wanted to do. So they're not making really big chances, Gothenburg, so it looks good.
Holt. Picked up by Ben. I think the linesman did have his flag up away on the far side. Referee is not acknowledging that, and he quickly lowers it. There's Redford. Here's Bannon. Ambitious little chip forward. Well, Morris Malpas keeping his eyes on that. He had to. We had Nielsen perhaps creeping in behind him. Well, I think as Uljan said, I suppose you could summarize it by saying that United have been keeping them at bay, but on the other hand, they've only just fleetingly given the notion that they could be menacing. Certainly there's been no sustained pressure. Good work by Redford again. The tackling has to be accurate, and that's Redford on the outside. Very good skill. Backed up by Bowman to Sturrock, and he couldn't turn. Once again, Billy Kirkwood was coming in at the edge of the box. Eight minutes to half-time, still no scoring. Neary, and that will be a free kick. I don't know whether you observed the dust coming up. That's very quickly taken. Conakry, good covering by United again. The dust came up as that ball went through, showing how dry the pitch and bare the pitch is on the far side. Anderson with it. Listen! That's the opening goal. Number 10, Stefan Peterson. And that came virtually out of nothing. An untidy, scrappy sort of goal, but it counts. Much to the delight of the Gothenburg supporters. Up he went for it, and getting a bit of freedom in the bounds on this hard pitch, totally deceiving Thompson. A cruel blow to come at this time. Barely 6 minutes remaining of this first half. Well, do we blame the pitch for it, Uljan?
No, I don't think you can blame the pitch for this one, because it was a header, and I think he went in quite well, Peterson, there.
I think his commitment was very good, yes. But that was an extraordinary bounce.
Whereas it was fortunate that he headed it down.
Well, there they are. Huge crowd in here tonight, and for the first time in the match, given something to shout about. And United will have to work very hard now. Redford. Was Holt took him down now. Bannon. Slightly slow in trying to part with it. I certainly don't think it will ruffle United unnecessarily. They've come back very well occasionally. There's Sturrock. Oh, he should have pushed it through better than that. Slightly slow on it. Now they're beginning to play. Johansson. There's Fredriksson coming forward. Holmgren. I think he would want to try and kill it off now. I think probably Jürgen would want to really go hard at United now.
Yes, I think so. It looked like they had got a little bit more confident now since they got the goal. They're trying.
Bowman. Risky venture, but it comes off for him. Slight look of disappointment on Paul Sturrock's face. That's Larsson. Carlson. Seeing a bit more also of Stephen Pettersson. Oh. That's the first time that Nielsen has been given that freedom in the penalty spot, and Sturrock takes it bravely and cleverly. Away he goes. He's on his own though, trying to wait for Redford to come up inside. Here's Malpas. Well, he simply was outnumbered, Paul Sturrock. Trying to wait for players to come up. The ball ends up going all the way back, and I think that's a free kick to United. Jim McInally to take this. 3 minutes to half-time. Sturrock almost getting away with that lovely little movement we've seen so frequently from him. Letting the ball go between his legs and twisting sharply. Very high. Hegarty is up. There's Bowman. Well, I stifled appeals, I think, by the Dundee United players. Bowman certainly affronted by that challenge. But it's a goal kick. Two minutes to half-time. Hegarty. I think a late tackle there, a late challenge by Redford. Free kick. There's Paul Sturrock, I think, will go all the way back. And United must not allow this team to score again. It'll be fatal for them. Peterson. That was uncertainty in the United defence for the first time. Johansson. Bowman just getting his head to it. Redford. There's foul. Free kick to United. Trying to knock it about in midfield now. Get the confidence back. There's Holt. Of course, he mustn't be caught in possession in that area. That could be fatal for them. Good jumping again by Bannon. McInally following up. Sturrock is offside. That's twice he's been caught like that when he's had a little bit of space on the left. We're now into stoppage time by our watch and the stadium clock. And United were so very near going in with an excellent scoreline, nothing each. 6 minutes or so from the end, and as Ørjan Persson said, a very good challenge by Peterson for the ball, which certainly paid off. Aided and abetted by a very hard pitch, I still say. Alpus. And I don't think United would alter the play very much in the second half. For the major part of the first half, they've contained Gothenburg. And there goes the half-time whistle, with Gothenburg leading by 1-0. A goal scored by Stefan Peterson just before half-time. Rather tragically conceded by Dundee United, who'd played in that typically unsensational fashion of theirs. Working very hard, everybody working for each other, solid at the back, and then that little glimpse of goal that Peterson, a man who missed most of last season through injury, was able to rise up there and get that first free header, a goal bouncing above Billy Thompson. Disappointing, but I don't think that having conceded that, they should be overawed by that score, Ørjan.
No, I think it must still be a good score for them, and I don't think Gothenburg will score many more goals though. So if they just can keep it like this, that will be fine.
Would Gothenburg in fact be satisfied with a 1-0 victory here?
No, they won't be satisfied. They will certainly try to get another one, but I think the whole defense are playing well, and especially the fullbacks.
Yes.
And they are creating quite a few chances when they're coming up too. I think Stark is a fast, good player.
And so possibly United could score.
They could still score, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Ørjan, and I think we can go back to the studio now. Let me repeat, it's 1-0 for Gothenburg against Dundee United in the first leg of this UEFA Cup final. And back to the studio, where Dougie Donnelly will have that Wheel Kent figure, Hamish McAlpin. Thank you very much indeed. I hope it doesn't turn out to be a nightmare. I think, Ørjan, beside me, the point we were making about the pitch is, whilst it's the same for both, I don't think it's a kind of pitch that produces the kind of skills that these two teams are capable of.
Oh, that's really a pity, because I'm certain they can play a lot better than they have done today. And you can see it when they got the goal, it was a very high bounce. It's remarkably high bounce, but...
Well, certainly it takes a goalkeeper by surprise when it goes down like that, and then up again as we go into the second half. And by the way, I'm sure a lot of Aberdonians experiencing twinges of nostalgia watching the stadium, where of course Aberdeen won the Cup Winners' Cup under rather different circumstances. It was lashing of rain that night. It's a beautiful evening now. I must say that although I've been abroad with a lot of teams, in travelling with Dundee United recently, you get the feeling that, you know, even though they're behind, they're always capable of fighting back. They certainly will not lose their confidence. I think Hamish was suggesting that at half-time. They'll play, by and large, the same way. It's touched in, and there is a chance of Billy Thompson, proving that he has recovered. Oh, really excellent save by the goalkeeper that time, and I think he took into account the bounce as well. Wrong footing the Dundee United defence, and swept in, and that was an excellent save. Eamon Bannon defending deep inside the penalty area. Vital save to make it this juncture of the game, right at the start of the second half. Good tackling by Bowman. Here's Sturrock. Oh, outnumbered Holmgren. That's Michael Anderson. Now Nielsen. Cleared well, there's McInally. I think that was a deflection. Oh, yes. United could quite easily have been stunned, falling another goal behind at that stage. Rather phlegmatic look in the face of Bowman there, as if to say, just got to get on with it. Redford lost sight of it. Bowman is in, fighting hard. Added a great deal of strength to United in midfield. Billy Kirkwood. Redford. Well, that's careless. Nielsen. Anderson. That should be watched by Bannon, and is. It's a goal kick. Some in the crowd don't agree with that decision, but Bannon had watched that very carefully indeed. Bannon's defensive qualities in the side are a very significant factor to United. I know he's better known for good long runs and spectacular goals, but over 90 minutes he puts in a lot of defensive work. Redford. They're looking strong. McInally's not there. Holmgren. That's slack, Bowman. United have certainly got to try and exploit these chances now. Paul Sturrock. Bannon inside. They're tackling very quickly. That one that time by Carlson. There's the coach, Gunnar Bengtsson. Bannon. All very tight and congested on the far side. United finding it very difficult to see an opening for themselves. Sturrock and Bannon. Nice little touch by Bowman. And the free kick. Right on the edge of the box. They're very good coming from the back, Gothenburg. You know, they have strong running players, Urian.
Yeah, they're coming from the back, overlapping. They do a lot of running for each other, too. Just not to...
And as you said, they play very like United in many ways,
Yes,
don't they?
They do.
32-year-old Thomas Wernerson hasn't had all that much to do. The jump, though, by Hegarty. Holmgren. Well, they're getting the ball more to that man, Nielsen. One involved in that injury of Billy Thompson's. There's a run by Sturrock. And I think what has been very significant about United over the last 4 games I've seen them in Europe, or indeed even if we go as far back to the game they played in Split against Hajduk, has been their second half ability to change the pace of the game and hit teams at vital moments. Keep your fingers crossed for a repetition of that. That's Anderson, and that's a slice. Not seen very much of Fredriksson coming forward. Others have been doing it. Billy Kirkwood walking away in midfield. Hamish McAlpin paying him the right kind of praise. A lot of players have fed off Billy over the years. Holmgren just overdoing it. This is Anderson. Little space there for Holmgren. Younger of the two brothers. And that's a good ball. Oh, brilliant tackle by Neary. Fredriksson coming forward. Well, that's the kind of break we would have expected more in the game from Gothenburg. Fredriksson deciding to come forward. Stig Fredriksson, who is the national captain, scored against Hamburg in that famous cup final that they had in winning the UEFA Cup. First Swedish team ever to win a European competition, and Fredriksson was right at the core of the side and his team's success. McInally, late kind of tackle, and John Holt almost taken on. There's a race. Snady. No, I think he got in there. I think he put him off. I don't think there was a deflection. I think it's a goal kick, but he went with him all the time. I'm sure as a flying winger yourself, Urian, you would appreciate the pace of Neri going back there.
Yes, Neri must be a very fast player too, because he was keeping up with Nilsson there, so it was good.
They'll have to keep their eyes on Nilsson, though.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Didn't go the right way for the Gothenburg player. Picked up well by Redford. It's John Holt. Now Sturrock. Oh, dear, oh dear. I didn't think that was offside. Most certainly didn't. And I think Mr. McLean is agreeing with that. Not with the decision, with what I've said. That it's as if, to me, as if Paul Sturrock was a yard on. And I think there may be a substitution coming up. A Dundee United substitution. And Nilsson picks it up. And he does play very like Johnny Ekstrom. Pace and control. Can't get the opening, though. Just kept in. Well wide. And it looks to me like John Clark. There they are. We get a clear shot of him. Yes, it's John Clark who's going to come on. Clark comes on. Hegarty is off, and I would suspect that Hegarty is not fully fit. From that substitution, here's Redford. Bounce almost beating him. Difficult situation for young John Clark to come on here, the boy who scored that amazing headed goal in the new camp. Big lad, he'll match them physically. United feel no inhibitions at putting him on at this stage, but it's a test for him, and there he is. First touch. There's Paul Hegarty with the physio. Almost a grief-stricken look on his face there, Paul. I'm sure he's loved to have played on. Nice little skills. They're turning it on occasionally in the second half and getting away with it. Thompson beautifully taken out of the air. That was done with the greatest of ease, or at least they made it look like it. But he was always under pressure, and it's a delight to see a goalkeeper making a save like this. Up he goes, brings it down with a one, then with the other, and surely that should inspire his defence, and especially the young man who stepped onto the pitch a minute ago. Redford tries to go. On the other hand, I think it should be pointed out that United themselves, they have given the impression they could get gaps in this defence, but now in the second half, with about almost 12 minutes gone, I think they've really got to try and get a goal, haven't they, Ulrika?
I think they have to, and they probably will, but it will be difficult, I think.
You have confidence that they can?
Well, at least they are trying, and that means a lot.
Well, pass. I said at the start that the Dundee United manager had made it clear that he didn't really consider that Maurice Malpas was going to be fully match fit, but that he would do a job, and he's doing that. He's not at his best, but still functioning well. They're winning a lot of tackles in midfield now. There's John Holt. To Bannon. One of these long runs I was talking about. What he does is he drags the defence back and pulls defenders across towards him. If he can get the early ball in, as he sometimes does, that could threaten this defence. Sturrock, good turning. Bowman is there. McInally, there's Bowman. A wild one by Clark, who did come forward, leaving only Malpas and Neri at the back to make that effort. Stage in the game, of course, when United might just press forward a little bit. They must not leave gaps at the back. Nielsen has simply got better and more menacing as the game has developed. Leaving this to Maurice Malpas. That's the score line. 14 minutes gone in the second half. That's Redford. McInally gone a little too far. Redford, neat ball. Billy Kirkwood in the middle of it again. Bannon. John Holt. And did it go across? The linesman, I think, was indicating, he set the indicator down to the corner flag here, but the referee just waved play on. Yes, and I think I should reinforce what I was saying and what Hamish picked up at half-time. There is a strong wind blowing here. I think that's bothering the players as well. In other words, it's a lovely night, except for good football. McInally. Holmgren. And a cluster of United players working once again very hard in midfield. Michael Anderson. Holt watching it carefully. Way by Neri. Bannon. Neri on a run. Getting to the halfway stage, halfway line for the first time in the match. But the pass forward to Paul Sturrock not good enough. McInally. Now Bannon. Sturrock on the left again. Bannon wanting to go through himself. Kirkwood. McInally. Backed up by Malpas. Kirkwood driving forward. And I think tackling from the back, which the referee would not accept. Nevertheless, you get the impression that Billy Kirkwood is gritting his teeth, driving himself on, setting an example for the others. Seems to be a crucial part of the game now. We're approaching 17 minutes into the second half, and one would think now, Urian, that United might in fact just have to settle for 1-0 if they can get away with that.
I think they will be quite happy with that. But I don't think Gothenburg will be happy with one. I think they should go for another one. I think, but they're not attacking as much as they did for a while there. They're slowed down a bit.
I think perhaps they may be wishing to draw United out.
That could be the tactic, but I'm not so sure of that. I think they are trying to attack, but United are defending themselves well.
And of course, they're defending way out of the goal as well. Good tackles in the opponent's half, which is always a good sign. This is Paul Sturrock. A little bit lofted, more lofted than he wanted. Here's Bowman. Redford, too brilliantly saved, and that was a magnificent shot. The first clear shot of the match, really. He took it so well. Good work yet again by Bowman. And look at this, on the volley. And that was going in. There's no question about it. Bannon, Clark. Certainly the big man got a touch. Now they've got to be very careful with these balls. Jim McInally. There's McInally, United beginning to play well. Here's Kirkwood. There's the shot at goal, and it swings away. But I think it's right now for United to take the initiative like this. They showed they can make openings, Jurgen.
Yes, it's looking a lot better now. They were very close to a goal there. It's a fantastic save, fantastic shot and a fantastic save.
Always does players good to see that, of course. They would have looked at to bust a net. Nevertheless, has brought out an excellent save in the goalkeeper, and I think Redford fouled. Yes, he was. Free kick. That gives you an indication of the pitch again, the patchiness of it. It is very uneven. Free kick to United. About 20 minutes of the second half gone. That's John Clark. Rifling it in, and that's a brilliant save. Well, they say that John Clark is the strongest kicker of the dead ball in Scottish football. Certainly indicated there, it was the control of it apart from anything else. Drilling it in very low, and a brilliant save by the keeper. Sturrock. Holt. McInally. No, I think I would echo what Ørjan Persson is saying. I know that the tactics of Gothenburg have been proved in the past to be very astute, quite ingenious at times, but if they are trying to draw United out a wee bit and to ease the congestion up front, then they're taking major risks. I'm sure they're desperate to go to Tannadice with a greater lead than this. Sturrock doesn't get the freedom, and flicked back there by Carlson. Neatly touched on. Anderson. This is Nielsen showing that little spurt again, and that was too much. I like the way Dave nearly just drew him away across, didn't commit himself to the tackle. And coming on here is Roland Nielsen. And off will go Magnus Johansson, who's had rather an anonymous game. Alpus committing himself for that. Holmgren is there first, and there's John Holt. Seen hardly anything of Gothenburg in the last 10 minutes, but this is Holmgren, always dangerous. No. 2 homegrowns. They both come from just inside the Arctic Circle. And there is the substitution. As I said, the 2 homegrowns come from just inside the Arctic Circle. That qualifies them as Laplanders. And the Tommy, the one you saw there, started off life as a very useful ice hockey player. Hasn't body checked so far. There's Holt. Playing it round confidently, United. Paul Sturrock. McInally was prepared to make the run on the left, and there he is again. There's Redford. Couldn't quite get the shot in, and that's good play by United, and they are looking rattled at this stage. That small bunch of United supporters, we haven't seen very much of them in this coverage, but they are there behind their team, delighted to see that kind of play. Sturrock, tackle from the back, little harshly. That was Tommy Holmgren, the player I was talking about. Free kick in a good position for United this now. Got the advantage of Clark being in there as well. Flicked away. Holt. That's an excellent clearance. Now, this is dangerous. 3 against 3. The player way in the far side, just wasn't in camera shot there. And there's Billy Thompson, finishing very weakly indeed. I think he did a marvellous thing for his confidence, getting that early save. It was a hard test for him. And he passed it very successfully at the start of the second half. Morris Malpas dragging players with him. It's a goal kick. A little word of English to the East German referee. Fat chance he has of understanding what was said. For the Gothenburg supporters, I did say about the rock concert that they actually saw the stands shaking. It was Bruce Springsteen who was on, who's perhaps a little noisier than Gothenburg and Dundee United put together. Powerful header by Clark again. Not frightened to come forward. A little bit unfortunate there for Redford. "25 minutes gone. It's still 1-0 to Gothenburg. 20 minutes of this first leg of the UEFA Cup final still to play. United trailing, but not disastrously. And indeed they've had, I would think, the better of the second half here again.
I think so, yeah. The game has changed really, so they are having the ball a lot more than they did in the first half, so it looks really promising now.
Billikek would try to break. There's Holt. It was a bad one. Anderson. Brilliant tackling again by Neri. He does that well, doesn't he? Oh, Bowman. Finnegan's defence under a bit of pressure. Neri comes out very well. Now, Paul Sturrock. Haven't seen him much on the right wing. Just occasionally coming across, drifting across. His favourite side is the other one. Still working very hard. Here's Sturrock. He was pushed from the back. Little nutmeg there. Holmgren doing very well. That's a race, and it's all about pace now. Nielsen. Neri with them. Well, Thompson was behind the line of the shot. Is that what you expected? More of that from Nielsen?
Yes, I expected more of that. But he shows that he has the ability.
And I certainly think he's shown the ability to be on his own up front and still to cause problems, which is exactly what happened there. Redford did that superbly well, and surely fouled, yes. He does get his message over, doesn't he? Except that we're getting a duet tonight. That's John Holt. Backing up there by Clark. Oh, a little deflection, but to no advantage to United. I like the way Clark, who has this thundering shot, is wanting to come forward. He's ambitious enough to let fly from way out. Clark back in defence this time. Neat little turn. Oh, this young lad has learned a lot this season. Tommy Holmgren. By the leg to the side, and McInally is back defending. A little bit ragged, though. McInally. No deal there for United. They had everybody back at the edge of the penalty area. You get the impression, Ian, that that might be a shot of frustration more than anything else. I mean,
I don't think United are not allowing Gothenburg to play their usual game. They've been playing a lot better against Inter Milan and the other clubs, but they're not allowed to do that tonight, I think.
well, what is missing from the Gothenburg performance then?
Well, I don't think they are used. They are playing the same style as Gothenburg, so they didn't get the space to move on.
So it's all been about closing them down, tackling quickly, crowding midfield.
And I think the Gothenburg team has been afraid of, they've been scared of Dundee. They didn't want to meet them until the final, of course. But.
That's the attendance, 50,023. It'll be half that at Tannadice, but I expect the crowd at Tannadice will make a bigger noise. In fact, I know they will. Oh, they're picking him off well on the edge of the box. That could have been a very dangerous move. And by our watch, exactly 15 minutes remaining, and United are trailing by 1-0. And they played well in the second half without the little breaks that they needed. Wilson in there again, and Willie Thompson watched it very carefully. Billy Kirkwood. Here's Sturrock. Here's Kirkwood. Yes, I like the way that they can operate with players in midfield and get the runs from Sturrock and Bannon. Changing wings occasionally. A lot of hard work going on out there. Finished by good runs. There's Bowman. McInally. Oh, he did brilliantly in that. Outnumbered eventually. Clark. Flipped away there by Glenn Hyson. And only Paul Sturrock remaining upfield for United. All the way through to Neri, and he's happy to concede that corner kick. And I think what bothered him there, and I really, it's difficult just to specify exactly the factor of the pitch here, because we don't want to be making too many excuses, but I think he was bothered about the bouncing of the pitch there more than anything else. That's McInally, has a second go at it. Slightly nervy touch there about McInally. I think he was scared about somebody coming in behind him. That should be Thompson's ball. Oh! Ought to have been. Bowman can't quite get there. That was a let-off. And how? And right off the side of the foot for Peter Larsson, who'd come forward. Well, I wonder about director here. The local Swedish director will show us that again. Real let-off for United. I'd committed myself by saying that it was Thompson's ball. He certainly had made up his mind to go for it. And it was that touch right across the goal. But surprisingly, we're not seeing again. Yes, that's a free kick, and it's a little bit hard. And he didn't get him the first time. He made sure the second. That's another battering for the vocal cords of Mr. McLean as well. This has been some... one or two tackles from the back in the second half, I think, noticeably, that have been a bit severe. And the referee is not allowing any leeway here for physio to come on or anything. Just wants the play to continue. And I stress by our watch, we've now gone 33 minutes and Clark is up. There's the goalkeeper, and I suppose he gets a bonus for that save early in the second half, which meant so much to his side. An instinctive save by Thomas Wernerson. Clark beaten for the first time in the air. That Nielsen. A lot of good work from him there. Getting time to bring it down, and McInally tries to bring it away and does. Bannon. No, not strong enough. Trying to find Sturrock. Holt. Bit careless. Kirkwood. Redford, I don't think, has quite recovered from that shattering experience of the very hard tackle from the back. Bowman. Redford on a run. It's well kept in, and Redford is there. McInally held on well, found the gap. Paul Sturrock. Lovely little run again. There's the cross, and he gets a corner. He does that so well. I mean, you used to come in from the left yourself. That's good play.
It's always dangerous when you go down to the back line and cut it back. So, and you almost did it here.
Paul Sturrock with it. A lot of curl on there. Bowman tries to go in. And I think Gothenburg get the free kick for the rather awkward way that Bowman tried to go in. Little awkward conversation as well to follow up. Well, this is how the free kick came about. Well, he certainly slipped before he made the contact, but there's little doubt the referee was going to give a free kick in these circumstances. Well, I don't know whether you can pick up the Dundee United supporters in the background. They're certainly singing like linties, and I suppose reasonably happy with this scoreline, but you better not just say too much about that. There's still just over 8 minutes of the game remaining, and that could be a long, long way. Free kick to Gothenburg. That's testing that defence again. And there is Thompson. Well, it was Wilson again, trying to get in there, get the final touch. And Billy Thompson had really to crawl along his goal line almost. Ball away there. There's a touch. A little fortunate, and down he went. And from that angle, a lot securer than it looked from up here. Meanwhile, free kick to United. Keeping my eye on the watch, about 8 minutes remaining, just under 8 minutes now. And there is Sturrock on his own. Throw to United. That's Jim McInally trying to crowd him out. Here's Sturrock. He'll want people in there. Bowman. No, he hasn't got the pace for that, Bowman. But he fights back well. Safely back by Peter Larsson. Well, I can pick up the United supporters anyway. The way to my left. And we have about 6.5 minutes left. Still 1-0 to Gothenburg. There's Malpas. Nicely. Neat little touch away. Redford. Sturrock trying to come across. This is a performance that's not all that far removed from the one in Hajduk. Not just as good as Barcelona or Germany for that matter, but I think a goal for United would have changed everything. I certainly think they deserved a goal for the painstaking way they've played this match. Oh yes, he's had a lot of rough treatment in the second half. Free kick to United. And big John Clark, boy from Musselburgh. Aptly named place for a big man like John Clark. And here he is. Well, Bannon was waiting handily for that. There he is on the outside, and he doesn't get it cleanly from McInally. Would you expect any change now from Gothenburg? Do you think, with about 5 minutes left, don't you think they must try and mount a final assault?
Yeah, I think they might put in Rantanen now. I wouldn't be surprised.
Rantanen being the Finnish international.
Yes.
Who is considered a very strong player.
He's strong, he's good in the air, yes.
John Holt. Bowman, plenty time to bring that down. He has Sturrock away in the left. There's McInally. A lot of good all-round performances by United tonight. Well, I know they're 1 goal down, would have preferred something better than that. But you consider some of the great tackles of that man there, David Neary. Good running by Bannon. Solid work by Kirkwood. Oh, the pressure on it. Very, very bad ball by Anderson. Pushed forward there by Fredriksson. Now this is Holmgren. Neat little turn of pace. Back come the United players. Bowman sticking to his task well. Here's Redford. Bit of leeway there for Fredriksson. That's a bad ball, and away goes Redford. Getting a little bit of pace here. Certainly Sturrock has it. Sturrock for United. Dragging the defenders with them, and I think he got out of the way of trouble, Paul Sturrock. That might just be caught, and it is by Nielsen. Very fast indeed. Great tackling again by Neary. Solid and reliable, as he virtually always is. Redford. Eamon Bannon and Holt waiting for it there. Terrible blunder by Holt. A good position for Gothenburg. John Clark backing up. And just touched over that will be a corner kick. And we make it just under 3 minutes remaining. They've brought the big defender, Max Ola Carlson, forward for this. There's something of a tragedy of United conceding a goal at this stage. There we are. We face up to now about 2.5 minutes of football. The corner kick is there. And away by Clark. Solid wall of Tangerine, and Redford breaks well. And here's Bannon. That relieves the pressure. The clock ticking remorselessly and helpfully towards the 90th minute. Just under 2 minutes remaining. And we, in fact, it looks like Lars Zetterlund who's coming on. Last throw of the dice, as it were. Might be an odd substitution to make, Urian.
Well, that's a surprise, yes, because I was thinking they were going for a striker, but Zetterlund is a midfield player.
That's a touch in, and Neri away with it. There's a chase on. Paul Sturrock is after this. So is Larsson. Confident enough to do that because he realized Sturrock was all on his own. And we have exactly 1 minute remaining of the first leg of the UEFA Cup final. Gothenburg still leading by 1-0-0. Not the most memorable game that United have played in Europe, but has been very useful indeed. Neri concedes another corner, and as happens so often on these occasions, you've got to eke out the last minute or so of a game under pressure like that. It's a corner kick, and there is that substitution that we anticipated, and Beaumont is coming on as Sturrock comes off. And he'll go in as a defender for perhaps the last moment in the game. About 20 seconds remaining by our watch. I hasten to add, now the corner kick, they really must keep this out. I'm sure you're willing them on back at home. Little bit of slackness and away by Thompson. And that will relieve the pressure. Oh, there was just a flicker of doubt in my mind there as to whether that would go in the back of the net or not. He is a very dangerous player. And this is what caused the problems. Ball bouncing about awkwardly. And the final whistle is gone whilst we were watching that replay. The final score in Gothenburg, all right, disappointingly 1-0 for Gothenburg, but I really have to say that overall is a very solid professional performance by United. They didn't crumble when we thought they might. And I'll ask you frankly, Urian, who would you put your money on now for the final?
Well, I think I put my money on United because in the second half they really proved they can play football, and they were all trying hard, and they are certainly the best team that has visited Gothenburg this season.
Yes, well, that's very kind of you to say that, and I'm sure Urian Persson has had slightly mixed loyalties, but delighted, absolutely delighted, as these United fans are at that result. Well, delighted in the sense that they have the opportunity of 90 minutes to get through. But let me warn you, let me end on a cautious note, that this team had played very badly at home against Hamburg in the final of the UEFA Cup first leg, and then went to Germany and scored 4 goals. And I think that is a warning to everybody. Don't forget that, but don't also forget that they're going to be lifted by a marvellous and vociferous Paradise crowd. I think that's the best way of looking at it as we go back now to the Glasgow Studio.